योगः कर्मसु कौशलम्.
Dear colleagues, dear friends, greetings for the day. First of all, I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Jagdish Joshi, Professor, Director in UGC Human Resource Center, Gujarat University. I also take this opportunity to thank Dr. Bhavesh Bharat, Coordinator, who has been very cooperative and who has been assisting us in conducting this online lecture, forwarding us directions. Also, his team, specifically the Gujarat University, who is championing and who is pioneering the cause of new education policy, 15th in the ranking throughout the country. And this refresher course is in law relating to evaluating laws and policies in India from the lens of 21st century a reality. Myself, Dr. Swati Dheeraj Singh Rotela, Associate Professor, Department of Law, University of Mumbai. I am going to do a presentation on the role of international treaties governing intellectual property rights and their socio legal impact on society. So, basically, we discuss what is intellectual property right, the jurisprudential perspective for the same, the treaties that are governing intellectual property rights, their significance, and the socio legal impact of treaties on society. Our learning outcome is to sensitize participants to make them understand the various perspectives of intellectual property rights, why the laws are binding upon us, and how there is a transformation in society, and why we are adapting to the changes with the technological know how, advancement, the brands which we receive, the copyrighted work which we see, we all have to pay a price. But definitely at the end, we are happy. We have got the benefit of the best of technical know how. We have got a copyrighted version and we are not infringing. There are various treaties, there are Indian legislations which govern and regulate intellectual property rights. Also, there is the impact of all these treaties of intellectual property rights on society at large. Our next thing which we have to discuss and understand, what is intellectual property? What are we referring to? So, referring to some creation, a creation of mind, invention, literary artistic work, some symbol, name, picture, model, and industrial design. Intellectual property, it is divided into two categories, including invention, patent, trademark, industrial design, model, geographic indication of source, and copyright. It includes literary artistic work, namely the novel, poem, play, sonnet, films, musical compositions, cartoons, paintings, photographs, architectural designs, etc. There are certain related rights in the copyright law, which include right of the performers in their performances, right of the producers of phonogram in their recording, and the right of broadcasting organization in radio and television program they air. Intellectual property right are right given to the person over the creation of their mind. They usually give the creator an exclusive right over the use of his or her creation for a certain period of time. So, It is a monopolistic right. It is the product of his human labor, including certain creativity, concepts of creativity, invention, industrial model, trademark, songs, symbols, etc. Now, intellectual property, it does not differ from other property right. They allow their owners to completely benefit from his or her product, which was initially an idea that developed and crystallized. It also entitles him or her to prevent others from using, dealing, tampering with his or her product without permission from him or her. In fact, a person can sue and he can hold people responsible who are infringing his copyright or his intellectual property, and he can be awarded with damages. The four categories of intellectual property right, or the ideas which are being protected, they are trade secrets, that is the secrets which are protected in trade. It will be protecting secret information. It will be protecting of new invention, a new recipe, for example a Coke formula. It will be a trademark protecting particular brands. It can be collective brands, it can be the service marks, it can be the marks on the goods, for example the mark of khadi, or the mark on a toothpaste, for example Colgate, or any other toothpaste for that particular matter. Or it can be collective marks, again the mark of Apple on the cell phone. Copyright, protecting the work of the authors, example books, movies, drawings. Patents, they protect functional or ornamental features. Example, swipe feature or iPhone design. Let us look into the historical perspective of intellectual property right and protection of intellectual property. So, which era did it begin? It is believed that IPR initially started in North Italy during the Renaissance era. In 1474, Venice issued a law regulating patents, protecting that granted exclusive right for the owner. The copyright is dating back to 1440 AD when Johannes Gutenberg invented the printing press with replaceable, movable wooden or metal letters. In the late 19th century, number of countries felt that it is necessary for them to lay the rules for monitoring or for regulating intellectual property rights. Globally, there are two conventions constituting the basis of IPR systems worldwide, and they have been signed. It is the Paris Convention for Protection of Industrial Property 1883, the Berne Convention for Protection of Literary and Artistic Work 1886. Now, IPR is allowing the innovator, the brand owner, or the patent holder, or the copyright holder to benefit from his or her work, labor, investment, which does not mean monopoly of the intellect. But these rights are given, they are inherent, and they are set forth in the International Declaration of Human Rights, that is UDHR, which provides for the right to benefit from the protection of the moral and physical interest resulting from the right holder's work, literal or artistic product. Let us understand what is a trademark. Trademark is a sign, a symbol, individualizing the goods. For example, the Cadbury chocolate cover, the purple color, or services of a given enterprise. Tata Motors. Tata Consultancy, distinguishing them from those of the competitors. So, what should a trademark be? It should be having protection. Trademark, it should be different, it should be distinctive, and it should not be deceptive, fraudulent, illegal, or immoral. Geographical indication, it is indication at source, the region where it is originating, the way, the process in which the product is being manufactured, or the soil, the texture. So basically, it is a notice stating that the product belongs to a particular region, or it has been made or manufactured in a particular manner. So, example, in handlooms, we have the ikat, we have the Patan Potola from Gujarat, we have the Pochampallis from the south, the Kanjivarams, Kanchipuram, and the Banarsi from Banaras. Also in handicraft, you have the toys where the etching is done in the regions of Uttar Pradesh, or the products, that is the items which we consume or which we eat. So it is the Rashagullas belonging to the two regions have got the geographical indication. They are the Rashagullas from Bengal and Rashagullas from Orissa, the turmeric from Vaigaon, Maharashtra, the chikus from Dahanu, the wheat from Madhya Pradesh, the tejpatta from Uttarakhand, strawberries from Uttarakhand, etc. So, what is industrial design or model? It is the aesthetics, the ergonomics of a particular product, the beauty in the product, the factor, that is the factor of relaxation, consisting of three dimensional elements, such as the creation of the product's shape. So, that shape is so good, you feel very, very relaxed, or you find some beauty into it. Or the shape may be of two-dimensional one, such as graphic pattern and of certain colors. Patent, it is exclusive right granted by law to inventor or to assignee to prevent others from commercially benefiting from his or her patented invention. So it is a process patent and it is a product patent. And from that invention, without permission nobody can use, and the permission which is given, it is for a limited period of time in exchange for a detailed public disclosure of patented invention. So the specifications, the drawings have to be very, very clear when it is being submitted for the purpose of registration. Trade name, a business will have a name, so we call it to be a trade name, but it has to be unique, distinguishing a business from other business. Trade secret, any information of commercial value concerning production or sales operation which is not generally known. The owner of a trade secret should take reasonable measures to protect its confidentiality. Once it is in open domain, it becomes public. So confidentiality, secrecy has to be maintained. Integrated circuit. A product should be in its final form or in its intermediate form, in which the elements, or at least one of which is an active element, which is interconnected. So all the small intermediaries are connected on the motherboard, integrally formed on a piece of material which is intended to perform electronic function. Copyright, a form of IPR concerned with protecting work of human intellect. The domain name, the domain of copyright is literary, artistic work, some writings, some musical note, work of fine art like painting, sculpture, and in the world of technology today, it is the technology based work such as computer program and electronic databases. So, what is related right or neighboring right? It is the right resembling in the copyright. Basically, the right is moving to the individuals, namely the performers, and on behalf of them, the producers and broadcasters are responsible to protect these rights of the performers and help them to deliver their message to the public. Now, the concept of property, intellectual property. What is property? Property is classified into real property and personal property. It is absolute property, or we term it to be as qualified property consisting of goods and chattel. Absolute property is one which is owned without any restriction, without any qualification. But in qualified property, there may be certain restrictions, or men are having certain rights on wild animals or on animals. So, property is divided further into two segments. It is corporeal property and incorporeal property. So, incorporeal property signifies a property which is perceptible to the senses as land, house, goods, merchandise, etc. Incorporeal property, it is chosen actions, that is with easements. And regarding this standard definition, the property is being defined in different statutes in India. For example, Section 2C of the Benami Transaction Prohibition Act of 1988, defining property as property meaning property of any kind, whether movable or immovable, tangible or intangible. Section 211 of Sale of Goods Act defines property as property which is general property, that is ownership in the goods and not merely a specific property. The different theories which are laid down and which are explaining the concept of property, we are going to look into the same. They are the historical theory of property, the labor theory propounded by Spencer, psychological theory propounded by Bentham, functional theory which is being provided by Jens Leski, philosophical theory. Property is a mean to ethical end and not property as an end in itself. So, let us look into the jurisprudential perspective. The natural law theory. The main justification in this theory is forwarded by Mr. Locke, the great philosopher John Locke, and according to this justification, everyone is having the right to consider his her ideas as natural property, and this is originating in the creation from the efforts, that is the efforts of the owner, the efforts of the inventor, their inventiveness. And the theory is based on the philosopher John Locke's idea that author has a natural right over his creation, applying his intellectual labor. Therefore, according to him, there is no difference between intellectual property and traditional tangible property. And there is no difference between the right of the owner of these two kinds of properties, such as the right to enjoy the property, to restrict others from using the property, and the right to transfer ownership. However, there is criticism because usage of IPR, it is time bound. The Lockean theory is talking about unlimited time, unlimited ownership. Also, the Lockean proviso restrains innovator from owning abstract idea, which can affect subsequent innovators. The right of ownership will violate Lockean principle of equity and creative liberty. We have The most famous philosophers, Bentham and Mill, forwarding the utilitarian theory or the incentive theory. So these theories, basically they are for the social welfare, for the general good of the public, and to see that maximum number of people are getting the maximum benefits. So basically it is to promote culture, it is to promote technical know-how, to see the welfare of the public at large. So for promoting invention, for promoting the creators, definitely they have to be given certain tips, certain benefits, which we may call, or nominal certification. Their work should be protected and incentives should be forwarded to them. Now, what is the criticism? The main criticism of this theory is the utility gains from the impetus of a unique innovation, which is being neutralized against the losses. So, everything, all the inventions need not be successful. What happens if there is a failure? The inventor may lose if the market is not accepting the invention. So, this is the criticism where utility gains are there from the unique innovation, but in cases if losses are happening, and this can be because of exclusive ownership, the inventor will be losing everything. So the question arises whether the benefit of IPR can be weighed against the casualties or not. We have the next theory. We call it to be the personhood theory. The greatest philosophers over here are Immanuel Kant and Hegel. They are the profounders of this theory, and they claim that intellectual right permit and protect development of personality extending to material things. As per this theory, the personality of everyone frames itself up in the environment of work, innovation, ideas, creation. The augmentation of personality is deep seated to our property rights. Under this theory, personality and property law are compared in the field of copyright because they are the tangible assets and they have to be protected. But there is the conflicting labor theory of Locke and Hegel's personality or spiritual theory, which do not seem to be the best approach, since Locke's approaches to the property is serving the personality, whereas Hegel's theory perceives property as the apotheosis of personality. So, there is a criticism. When the creation is done, the work is independent from the creator, but dependent on public domain. That is the acceptability, the moving. So it should go to the public unless and until people are accepting the the technological know-how or the invention, it may or may not be successful. As a matter of fact, the creation or the work gathers the importance because people are giving importance to it. But definitely research plays significant role. Then we have the moral desert theory. According to Locke, every man has a property in his own person, in his own being. So, the fruit of his own labor, it belongs to him only. The intellectual property rights are also the same pattern because the innovator deserves the right because of his intellectual and physical labor. The theory compensates a worker's performance for his effort, ability, persistence, industriousness, luck, time spent, the difficulty, the danger of the work, leadership quality, etc. However, this theory fails to give absolute value to the work like or inherent worth or labor or just price of labor. So Leggett has pointed and criticized even if we grant exclusive right to a specific idea, whether it is completely exclusive. There is no process of being sure or assuming it can be someone else's work or it can be collective work. It uh, did not inculcate the same idea or the thought. So, these rights can be vindicated if they are applied in the manner that the individual rights are protected without infringing others' rights. We have the economic theory of intellectual property right directly related to its value in market economy. For intellectual property, an incentive must be created to overcome the losses and market failure because every time the innovator is working into putting his effort, putting his precious time, reading a lot, conducting a research, loss, if there are losses, huge amount of efforts, money will be lost. And it can be due to high initial creation cost, marginal distribution cost of the intellectual product. So, the criticism over here is the contrasting viewpoint of this theory is that there is no particular ground to believe only property rights can create this incentive. Often, the innovators are not the real owner. Somebody else will be working die hard into the creation. But if it is in the process of employment, it belongs to the employer or it belongs to the university where the research has taken over or it may belong to the corporate who has funded for that research. So, as far as the tangible property is concerned, it is argued that property laws are used to allot limited resources in competitive market and without proper safeguard property right suppliers cannot supply to the market even if there is the high chance to obtain property. There is certain criticism which is based on the free ridal principle, which says opportunists should not be allowed to derive gain from where they have not sown, that is, they have not contributed. Otherwise, it will create undesirable monopolies. This is the sole reason why limited duration is imparted to intellectual property monopolies. Now, the jurisprudence over here has developed the concept of property, has made it clear that property is not only tangible like a house or a car or a furniture or currency or investment, but it is also intangible. And the forms of intellectual property we have also seen belonging to the rightful owner, to the rightful creator, recognized by law, granting certain monopolistic exclusive rights, the right to license, the right to assignment on their intangible assets, work, including some musical, literary, artistic work, and it is in the form of the symbols, designs, that is the patent, trademark, copyright. The rights are in the broad four categories of intellectual property, though the domain of such asset is expanding with the passage of time. Now, why are countries caring for IPR? Why are they seeking to protect intellectual property right? So, the new innovations in all IPR domain lead to human progress and advancement. Legal protection of new innovation encourages safe spending on other innovation. Caring for, protecting IPR contributes to achieve economic and social development. The intangible nature of IPR presents difficulties when it is compared with the traditional property like land or like goods. So, traditional property or intellectual property, it is indivisible since an unlimited number of people can consume IPR without it being depleted. Investments in intellectual property or goods suffer from the problem of appropriation. For example, a landowner can surround his property. He can do the fencing, he can call for the armed guards to protect, he can sue for to the trespassers who are trespassing on his property, claim for damages, but a producer of information or literature can usually do very little to stop their first buyer from replicating it or selling it at a lower price. Therefore, there has to be certain interest where balancing becomes very, very important. Hence, they have to have strong enough laws. There has to be encouragement for creation of intellectual goods, and there should be prevention of the goods, that is the wide use, and the primary focus should be on protecting the modern intellectual property. Now, what is the type of protection which is given under IPR? What should be the subject matter and main field of application? The chart is explaining all these details. So, for patent, we have new non obviousness, industrially applicable inventions, and it is for all industries, that is for chemicals, drugs, plastic, motor, pharmaceuticals, turbines, electronics, scientific equipments, communication equipment, etc. Trademark, sign or symbol to identify goods and services, and applicable to all industries. Industrial designs, it is in the ornamental designs, applicable to all industries, example electronics, automobiles, kitchenware, etc. Topography of semiconductor and other products, original layout designs, microelectronic industry. Copyright, original work of authorship, publication, videos, photos, broadcasting, etc. Neighboring rights, original work of authorship, performing artist of the producers of phonogram, broadcasting organizations, etc. How are these rights made available? It is against the unfair trade competition applicable to all of the above and to all industries. Trade secret, secret business information, and being made applicable to all industries. Now, the treaties governing intellectual property rights, it is the Paris Convention for Protection of Industrial Property, 1883, Berne Convention for Protection of Literary Artistic Work, 1886, Patent Cooperation Treaty of 1970. Then there are certain advantages of this particular treaty. Madrid Agreement concerning the international registration of mark, 1891, and protocol relating to Madrid Agreement, 1989. Then there has to be the impact or effect of international registration. Hague Agreement concerning the international registration of industrial designs, 1925. Trademark Law Treaty, TLT, 1994. Patent Law Treaty, 2000. The procedural treaties are the Strasbourg Agreement concerning the International Patent Classification, 1971. Nice Agreement concerning the International Classification of Goods and Services, For the purpose of registration of mark 1957, Vienna Agreement establishing international classification of figurative element of mark 1973, Lorcono Agreement establishing international classification for industrial designs 1968, Lisbon Agreement for protecting the appellation of origin and international registration 1979, other treaties, it is International Convention for Protection of Variety of Plants 1961 and Agreement on the Trade Related Aspects of Intellectual Property Rights TRIPS, and the main convention is the General Agreement on Trade and Tariff, the WIPO, that is World Intellectual Property Organization, and the World Trade Organization Cooperation. The international intellectual property system, it is of the multilateral agreements. The main organizations over here, they are the World Trade Organization, the World Intellectual Property Organization. The main treaties, it is the TRIPS agreement. The standard setting treaty over here is the Paris Convention, the Berne Convention, and the Rome Convention. Sectoral treaty is the International Convention for the Protection of New Variety of Plants on 10th August 1968. We have the Convention on Biological Diversity. There is the Global Protective System, that is the Madrid Agreement, and the Patent Cooperation Treaty. There are certain treaties, that is the Classification of Treaties, Strasbourg and Patent Treaty. Now, we will also continue with regional bilateral treaties and what are the trends in international IP rules for protecting intellectual property. So, widening of protectable subject matter, creation of new rights, and harmonization, standardization of certain approaches to the protection. We continue further discussing with the World Intellectual Property Organization. It is one of the United Nations specialized agency with 182 member states, 90% of the world countries, born in 1970, on the footsteps of Burpee, that is the two conventions, Paris and Berne Conventions Bureau. The functions of World Intellectual Property Organization are administer international treaties. They are more than 25 in number on intellectual properties. Harmonize, simplify intellectual property rules, practices. Monitor the developments in the field of intellectual property. Provide technical assistance and facilitate dispute resolution. The treaties which are governed under WIPO, they are for intellectual property. It is the Berne Convention, Brussels Convention, Film Register Treaty, Madrid Protocol, Paris Convention, Phonogram Convention, Rome Convention, the Trademark Law Treaty, Washington Treaty, WIPO Copyright Treaty, the World WCT, we call it to be the WIPO Copyright Treaty, and the WIPO Performance and Phonogram Treaty, that is called as WPPT. The systems which are uniform and global systems of protection, they are the Budapest Treaty, Hague Agreement, Lisbon Agreement, Madrid Agreement, Madrid Protocol, Patent Cooperation Treaty. The classifications under which the treaties are continuing, they are the Locarno Agreement, Nice Agreement, Strasbourg Agreement, and the Vienna Agreement. Now let us move to understand the functionality of the World Trade Organization. So there are two bodies which are functioning mainly. It is the Trade Policy Review Mechanism, reviewing the trade related policies from time to time, and the most significant, it is the Dispute Settle Mechanism, in relation to goods, services, and intellectual property. Why dispute settlement? The nations may go into disputes, but nobody today wants a war, either the Second World War or the Third World War, because war is devastating. Trade embargoes are devastating. So, nobody wants to have shortages, and there has to be mutual coordination, cooperation, and the most comprehensive treaty under GATT, it is the TRIPS, trying to cover the intellectual property agreements. And the purpose over here is to promote technological innovation, technology transfer to the mutual advantages of producers and users for socio and economic welfare. Now, basic objectives of the WTO are to raise the standard of living, to have full employment, to have optimal use of world's resources and sustainable development. Why sustainable development? Because resources are limited. If today everything is consumed, nothing will be left for the future generations. So, sustainable. We do utilize, but we preserve it for the generations to come. Certain principles, they are the principles of non-discrimination. The nations are not going to discriminate between themselves for the purpose of trade, for the purpose of technological know-how and transfer. Most favored nation clause is not to be dealt with. So all nations are equal. National treatment. So as I give treatment to my citizen, the same treatment is to be given to the citizen of another country. Free, fair trade. Also to ensure participation of developed and developing countries. The functionalities. The further objective is to facilitate implementation of the agreements. There are forums for negotiation among the members to administer trade policy review mechanisms and dispute settlement mechanism. So when disputes are arising, there are various bodies which are there to look into the dispute, and the disputes have to be amicably settled either by arbitration, mediation, conciliation, or negotiations. Now, the trade respected aspects of intellectual property right. Their basic objective and agenda is applicability of basic principles and general agreement in relation to trade and tariff, also in relation to intellectual property right, and agreements including certain specific principles, the principle of non discrimination, balanced protection under Article 7 and 8, free methods to implement minimum protection, that is Article 1, private enforcement, minimum standards of protection of intellectual property rights, and enforcement of intellectual property rights. Certain agreements, when we look into, they are temporary, or we call them to be as transitional arrangements. Now, this is the chart which is self-explanatory, telling us the standards and enforcement. So in general, we have the Paris-Berne Convention providing for national treatment in relation to copyright, trademark, geographical indication, design, patent, topographies, and undisclosed information. Most favorite nation clause. No favoritism is to be done, no discrimination is to be done by one nation on the other or group of nations on a particular nations. We have the exhaustion clause, and the principles have to be followed in uniformity. The enforcement mechanisms are there. There are certain general obligations which have to be abided. Civil administrative procedures have to be followed into. The laws have to be made to be regulated in conformity with the international legislations. Border measures are to be done. So this is important in order to avoid counterfeiting, piracy. Criminal procedures also have to be followed when there is a complaint in regarding to the products being pirated, or if there is a piracy into the same, or they have been stored in particular area. So search, seizure warrants can be granted by the authorities to look into the products. Now, trade related aspects of IPR, which have been discussed in the Doha Development Agenda and the TRIPS Council. There is the Ministerial Council over here. And with Ministerial Council, we have the General Council, which is discussing into Trade Negotiating Committee. There are various other councils and committees. Now, this committee further is discussing into negotiation group on market access and negotiation group on rules. And there are special sessions who are deliberating into the rules, into the market access, etc. So, TRIPS Council, it is a special session in relation to Geographical Indication Register. And TRIP Council, there are various decisions, there are various review of legislations, specifically in relation to public health, biodiversity, traditional knowledge, new plant varieties, extension, and this is till 2002. Now, Article 31 of TRIPS agreement is significant. It is declaring on the TRIPS agreement and public health at the Doha Ministerial Conference 2001, confirming that the members can declare a medical emergency. They are free to issue compulsory license under the reasons of public health. 30th August 2003, the WTO General Council adopted the decision on implementation of Para 6 of the Declaration on TRIPS Agreement and Public Health, called to be as Pires Mota Text. 29 October 2004, the Commission has adopted a proposal for a regulation on compulsory licensing of patent relating to the manufacture of pharmaceutical product for export to countries with public health issues. Trade related aspects of intellectual property right and technical assistance, intellectual property cooperation, programs in the third world country. The European Commission is a major provider for technical assistance. I'm sorry, it is not European Commission, but it is the Economic Commission over here to provide the technical assistance in favor of the developing and least developed countries. The objective of this assistance is to facilitate implementation of international IP obligations, in particular to those resulting from the bilateral and multilateral treaties, agreements, such as the TRIPS agreement. Such assistance generally includes the preparation of the laws, regulations, protection and enforcement of IP, and prevention from the abuse, as well as it is to support the establishment and reinforcement of domestic intellectual property offices, agencies which are relevant to these matters, including the training of staff in administration of IP protection and management methods. Now, trade related aspects of intellectual property and biodiversity. Since genetic resources and traditional knowledge can be used in patentable inventions, the domestic nations today are asking for equitable sharing, and it is in accordance with the principles of the convention, that is the Convention on Biological Diversity. This adjustment is there to see that there is an obligation to disclose the origin of genetic resource or the traditional knowledge in the patent application. The main features of EC proposal, that is disclosure in patent application, it is mandatory requirement, and if the patent applicant fails or refuses to declare the required information, the application will not be further processed. So we have the traditional knowledge digital library. initiated in India in 2001. Similarly, there are many other libraries with the Asian countries for protecting their traditional knowledge. This initiative is done under the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, then the Ministry of Science, Technology, Department of Ayurveda, Yoga, Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha and Homeopathy, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare in India, and it is being implemented at the CSIR. So the team is interdisciplinary team, and there are IT experts, scientists, patent examiners, etc. The TKDL contains documentations of publicly available traditional knowledge, including Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, and Yoga, in digitized format, available in 5 languages: English, German, French, Japanese, and Spanish. The TKDL is of 34 million pages, providing information on traditional knowledge existing in India in languages and format which can be understood by the patent examiners at International Patent Office, containing information for patent examiner on prior art that would otherwise be available only in Sanskrit and other local languages in the Indian libraries. The list, the precise time, place, and medium of publication for prior art searches by the patent examiner. It is aiming to prevent the granting of erroneous patent, because there is a lot of biopiracy on these medicinal plants, and the US companies, the European companies, they go for patenting, and the benefit will not reach to the people who are living in these regions. So traditional knowledge is to be protected, and uh, prevent the granting of patent for product developed utilizing traditional knowledge. So the information earlier has been recorded in Sanskrit, it has been translated, it is having a database containing information in a language which can be understandable to the patent examiners. The collaborations are there by Indian government with these patent offices: European Patent Office, Indian Patent Office, German Patent Office, United States Patent and Trademark Office, United Kingdom Intellectual Property Office, Canadian Intellectual Property Office, IP Office Australia. Since gaining access in Feb 2009, the EPO has identified 36 patents that make use of Indian traditional knowledge. So, these EPO applications have been set aside, modified, or withdrawn based on the TKDL evidence. Now, we have the regional approaches, the European Union and intellectual property right. It is a single market, eliminating restriction to free movement and distortions of competition, environment conducive to innovation and investment. So there is harmonization of national laws, creation of a community intellectual property right, one application, European wide community protection. Lisbon agenda is to establish the knowledge based economy. So, applying to all EU regulated IPR, applying mainly to infringement with commercial purpose or causing significant harm, minimum standard, that is, member states may go further, and the council regulation is into force from 1st July 2004. The conditions for inventions by custom authorities have been laid down. Various actions have been taken to confront a complex problem, and a number of countries are being surveyed. So there are certain regional approaches which is being looked into, and it is in the 46 of Conto Agreement. It is to ensure adequate effective protection of IPR in line with international standard, with a view to reduce distortion and impediment to bilateral trade. Special provisions are there to consider agreements in relation to trademark and geographical indication. IPR covered over here are copyright, related right, computer program, utility model, topographies of integrated circuit, databases, protection against unfair competition, and disclosure of confidential information. Therefore, there can be cooperation, technical assistance, preparation of legislation enforcement, capacity building, including on regional basis. So, a regional approach is also required to look into the ways in which regional cooperation could help in setting up IP administration, adopting the laws, and establishing protection systems. So, this is particularly in relation to geographical indications and trademark. Technical cooperation, that is economic partnership agreement, negotiations, they should contribute to capacity building, stronger IP systems in every country which are participating. So, this is the bibliography which everyone can see. It is there in public domain. It is the HTTP WIPO site, the World Trade Organization site, and European Patent Office site. Intellectual property, that is the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy, and the theories in relation to IPR, justification of protection of IPR can be looked into. Now we discuss about the impact on society. Definitely, there is the impact. People are getting the benefit advantage of intellectual property right, but it has to be protected from infringement. It has to be protected from counterfeiting because there is lot of duplication and it cannot be stopped. But governments can take precautionary measures or measures by strengthening their IP legislations. Definitely, the benefit has to go to the community, but the inventor should also receive some amount of benefit. In copyright, there have been interpretations of fair use. The courts have interpreted in the benefit of the users. For example, photocopying of books, Rameshwari photocopy case. Even in patents, evergreening of patent has been not allowed by the Supreme Court of India. But nevertheless, we also have to look that intellectual property regime or the domain, it is being governed by the world international bodies. India is still a developing country. No doubt, we have the policy, the government has come up with a policy for strengthening intellectual property legislations. Definitely, the process of registration of copyright, patent, trademark has been simplified. Today, there is online portal, online registration process, which is being simplified. Lot of classes are being conducted on Swayam portal for people to learn into the scope and the dimensions of intellectual property. Intellectual property, for example, it can be in the sowing of seeds, it can be in the fisheries, it can be in the cutting of woods, making of toys. So it is very, very elaborative and very, very vast in nature. Also, we have come up with the Startup India scheme, the scheme where we are encouraging our small, medium size industries. And if the product is of utility, definitely it can get a patent if it is novel, it is new, and the company can also get the benefit. So, students, over here, I will want to stop. I will want you to think upon how India is overcoming these challenges, meeting the global standards, and also seeing to it that the poor of poor in India to get the benefit, because till date we are not a state that is a capitalist state, but we are a social welfare state. So I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Jagdish Joshi, to thank Dr. Bhavesh Bharat, also the team members, the members of the refresher course in law, HRDC, Gujarat University, UGC Resource Center, all the participants who have been listening to me patiently. So, thank you all. And with this, I complete my presentation.